Hello, the game has started and it's me to go first. I have a great rack. I have gloated here. What about gloated here? 72, yeah. Not a bad second rack. I have melters and pretty sure that there should be a 4-timer through this E. What about a triple from the O? Not that I can see. I have armlets as a 7, but this is the column I'm going to be focusing on for the 4-timer, column K. Yes, column K remains. Ooh, equant, pretty good as well. Oh, is it equant? Yeah. Remelts. But just see what the 4-timer yields. Lamister is... No, that's not going to work. That's I. Martels. Mr. L. What about a word ending in let? Not seeing it. Remelts. 87. It probably would have been a similar score, maybe a little bit more, but I just couldn't see the 4-timer there. Anyway, let's focus on the current rack. Not a bad pickup. I've got some scoring tiles. No bingo here, I don't think, but I should be able to put together a decent score. Now my Y plays at F6, but that's where the story ends. We're playing with the new word list, so there are some new 3s that have been introduced. I need to keep an eye out on those words like OWO and UWU. ACK, I think, is one of them. Still looking at column K. Opponent scores well with the X. Just looking at this column here. Maybe I can get some value off the X. Kex feels a little bit weak, although it does have strategic merit in taking out this E. That's a handy bingo floater, and I'm not really near a bingo, so it makes sense to perhaps take it out. Kex, do I go with Kex? Tack is good. Irk, 32, that's not bad. A little bit more flexibility now, I think, with this rack. And opponent plays D Burr, maxed. Now, what about meanie? That scores quite well and gets rid of the letters I need. 38. Ordile without the W as a 6. Wald is good. W-A-U-L-D. That's a good way to get rid of U and W. Another good way to get rid of U and W would be Wuxia, and it has the strategic, I was going to say, the strategic merit of taking out the E. So looking at this column here for scoring potential, D all 32, poor rack leave and gives back easy score. Mud and, well, maybe I can play from this D. Not that I can see. So maybe D or, just for the score, 32. I'll draw the J. That's usually a good scoring tile. This board choking up a little bit now. JA and JE something, I guess. The W, not really handy for me currently. Ali is good. Maybe just dump the J for 27. There is some synergy happening with the IOUS. Juve onto an E would get rid of the 3 I need to get rid of. JU and V, but that's not currently on offer. What about a word ending in Y? No. Opponent, wow, Gwynedd. That's pretty impressive. Looking at J plays through the G. And even a V play. Nothing jumping out. Jowl isn't bad. 28's a decent score. Takes out the G as a floater. Does take a Y, but both Y's have been played. Jowl. Yeah, I don't mind this. Pity I don't have another U for Jugus, Jugus. I think I'll go with Jowl for 28. Now, this looks easiness. Okay, opponent bingos, and he's just one bingo behind now. So this is pretty close to bingo territory. I've got view down in the bottom, wive down in the bottom right, and swive, but I'm not going to burn the S for an extra 3 points. Just wondering if this rack with an N might form a bingo. What about this S? No. So I've got the OUS ending. Vipious, no. Perilous, no. Need to keep scoring. So what about, really want to get rid of the U and the V if possible. Vug. I think I will go with Wive. It's a good score, 30 points. Terrible pickup. Absolutely awful. What to do with all these O's? Nothing goes between Z and R. Not even from the new list. So what about just Pooh? 17, easy score for opponent, but a decent enough rack leave. There's some synergy happening with these four guys. So yeah, perhaps Rupee. What about Rupee? 24, that's not bad. I draw some more vowels, so not ideal, but and the second V, so virtuoso. Through an R. Virtue. Yeah, there's no R to play through. I've got the out prefix, but that doesn't help. I have no, I don't have anything with the V. I can get rid of the V in a few spots, I think. Sov down the bottom. And I don't mind blocking these two S's because yeah, I have a fairly balanced rack. I think I will scupper my opponent's bingo prospect somewhat. Terrible, absolutely awful there. Opponent still has the E to play on to, and Awistiti is a 5 vowel 8. Awistiti, actually through a T. Funny enough, this T not available, I would have had a bingo. Just slotting a T in here between those two I's. That's not going to happen. Is it time to change? Now Fav is a new 3-letter play that is part of the CSW 24 list, so that's worth keeping an eye on. What to do with these I's? Maybe TT gets rid of 2 I's, I guess. Surely I've got to draw some consonants now. Or is there a way for me to, because F does take an S. Actually, they know S is to come, so I don't need to worry about that. TT for 8. Wow, this is amazing. I just keep getting swamped with vowels. And there's no real scoring potential either. What a strange game. The second half of this game has been pretty dire. Now I can get rid of IO here. Oh, not Gen I. That's Gen I with 2 I's. I could actually maybe play that, but I think probably best to get rid of IO. And surely some consonants will come my way now. Wow, it's amazing. Look at that, 10 consonants, 5 vowels, and I just seem to be attracting the vowels like a magnet. Still have a bingo lead, but if opponent bingos now, then I could be in a real spot of trouble. Yeah, he does bingo and takes the lead, and pretty good rack to end with, so I think he's got a good chance of winning this game. What have I got? There's 1 tile in the bag. Fav is good. That's no one's going to get that. Wow, so there's a hot spot here. If I play ooze there, can opponent do anything? Probably not. Maybe I can go out. If I play the E as well, ooze, yeah. Okay, I've got etui to go out, but no place for it. That's a shame. I would have had a fair chance. Etui, Sarah doesn't take an I. ETUI, oh, so close. Opponent's probably looking if I can go out. Etui, so close. But Archine, no front hooks. Turi, no good. Tice doesn't score enough. ESER, no good. Wow. Etui and Seri, no. I don't think I've never seen Seri like that. Tice, probably not enough, no. But opponent's got just the one vowel, so maybe I can maybe I can go out before my opponent. Take and emu, that's not bad. That's 13. And then chewy, I should be able to go out with chewy, yeah. Chew in. Wow. It's a really close end to the game. Cert is good. Not seeing anything with the F here. Gent, gene. Genu is good, and ute. Wow, this is 16. Wow, that could be an interesting. Doesn't give back much to opponent either. So if I get 16, opponent can play clap, which is, don't think he can go out next turn either, but clap would score fairly well. 16 points, but then I get 16 for you. He gets a few more points. What can I do with my eye after? Wow, 16 plus 5 for if. Or 5 for HI. So, wow, this is close. Can opponent orchestrate an out in 2? Maybe this Y can help him. That's a quasi-vowel. I think he's almost certainly going to play through this A to maximize score and tile turnover. Well, he gets rid of 3 consonants if he plays through the A. Oh, okay, pick. Interesting. Now, I've got ute here, and that's 16 as well. I wonder if he did that to block me. I don't think I had a play there. Anyway, I'm going with ute, and I can go out with my I here, in or HI. There are a few spots here. Nori. So, yeah. Wonder why opponent played pick. Maybe I did have a play there that I wasn't sure of. Oh, of course, user. That's what he was blocking. Pretty much, I can't believe I overlooked that. So UTE would have been a better score there. Blad, and then HI to go out, I guess. Yeah, I don't think there's anything better. So, final score 411 to 402. Thank my opponent. Let's see what we missed. Very close at the end there. Gloated for 72, that's fine. Quanted for 34, keeping the X. Opponent goes with quant for 27, keeping DX. So quanted through the E. Now, remelts for 87 was best, so there were no 4 timers. Actually, there was. Yeah, resmelts, but 1 point less. So, yeah, remelts was a big score. And let's see what the next play was. Exam for 39. Opponent had X'd for 42. There, XED at 9, I across. Gets the second best one. And then Irk for 32 seems best from this rack. Then opponent plays Deber. Meanie for 38. But Ya for 28. 10 fewer points, but it still sims better because of the superior rack leave. Wow. Okay. And there was a floating E, so not a terrible board. And also Deber would take an S. So actually I didn't have an S at that stage, so I don't know if keeping a bingo-y rack was majorly beneficial at this stage, although bingos do end in ED, and that was a potential lane. So much of a muchness, I'd say. And Zayn doesn't play anywhere. Zax for 39 seems fine for opponent. Dior for 32, best from this position. And then Gwynedd, beautiful word. 33. Opponent had Swy, look at that, 38 points. At M12, Swy. Not bad. Swaying, he actually had a bingo, but no place for it. So Gwynedd came down, and then Jal for 28. Sims lowered down because it keeps the U, but yeah, maybe Jig would have been better. Yeah, I don't mind Jig. Jal scored a bit more, only 1 point more, mind you. So maybe, yeah, not much in those. Beautiful rack here. Opponent's got a choice of bingos, goes with easiness. And I thought there might be a bingo here through the N, but nothing. Y for 30 looks fine. Hen for 18, but FE for 32 with a shocking rack leave. 6F, is that worth doing? FE. Oh, because eel is good. EALE. And then, yeah, but that, wow. If you don't pick up a vowel after playing that, you could be just treading water for a few turns. So opponent goes with hen, and then there was a bingo. Look at that. So porous. So porous. Ah, wow. That's really nice. Playable at 15A and 14A. So porous. 8-letter words, yeah. I went with the rupee. And then Ganef and Ganch, some big scores there. 43 for Ganch through the N. Where was that? 5J. Ganch. That's huge. 43 points. Opponent went with Jen, and then Vitro for 24, Visto 31. I went with Sov because I just thought, take out these two S's, they seemed quite useful. And it also meant that opponent couldn't play onto the Y for a bingo either. So there was some merit to playing Sov. Now opponent wasn't close to a bingo here, but he had a 33-point play, went with F, and now I've got just vowels and vowels and more vowels. So is it for 23 and 2? Is it worth doing that? I don't know, because you're opening the trip and it's not a very high score. So I just played TT to get rid of some I's. Kairu for 30 with a good rack leave. Opponent goes with Ut. Now still got loads of vowels. EO for 10. And I thought I've got it finally. Archine. Nice. Opponent gets the bingo down. And now look at these scores. He's in the lead by 4. But he's consonant heavy. I'm vowel heavy. But more flexibility with my rack than his. Now look at the options. Otaku. Okay, Otaku. That's not bad with a good rack leave, because I'm thinking of playing out in 2 now, which is why I played. Yeah, I didn't even realize that I was setting myself up for the user hook, but yeah, it just so happens I was oblivious to it, but it was the right play for that reason. So I played Ooze, also hoping to block opponent's play of, BAP or something like that, because that would have been a decent score as well. Actually, opponent didn't have an A, so it would have to have been, I don't know what it would have been, but it wouldn't have been much. Look at this. Diptycha for 19 from 14F. Now this is an interesting scenario. Gee. Diptycha. Now opponent leaves a P there. If he gets 19, he's then on 396. And he's definitely going out before me. Or is he? Oh, but then would I have spotted UTE? That's the question, because UTE would have given me enough. UT would have given me enough to win. But Diptycha definitely would have made it a lot closer. And if I didn't spot the user hook, I might have played something else. I don't think I had Etui. There was one spot. No, there wasn't. Anyway, opponent didn't spot Diptycha. And then Ute was the top play for 16. Tice was second. That was my option. And then opponent had Blad for 14, Bond for 19 through, Droopy, that's quite nice. Bond and Droopy, still not enough though, I don't think, because 390, 407, and I get, which puts him 3 ahead, and then I get 5 for high, so not enough to win even with Bond. But wow, what a close game at the end there. Gee. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.